When it comes to stopping drinking alcohol, one of the biggest complaints that I see come up time and time again is boredom. So many people wonder how to manage boredom after they quit drinking. So today I'm going to show you 5 key ideas on how you can manage boredom. But by the end of this video, you're not just going to be able to manage boredom without drinking. You are going to eradicate this problem once and for all. So you really want to watch this video in order and in full, because not only have these worked in my own life, if we haven't met yet, my name is Leon Sylvester. I didn't drink now for 7 years after a decade of struggling. But these ideas have also fixed boredom in the hundreds of clients who I've helped in my coaching program.
And very quickly, if you want instant access to a brand new video training that I've just finished showing you how to control alcohol in as little as 48 hours, then click the link in the description. This new method is not about using willpower therapy or AA meetings. It's totally different. I do not publish this video anywhere else online, and it's already changing thousands of lives. So click the link below for instant access. Once you're on the next page, enter your name and email address and your free training will begin. It takes just 7 minutes to watch, but it'll feel like somebody flicks a switch in your brain. And honestly, I'm not sure when I'll start charging for this 7-minute video training. That's how good it is. But whilst it's still available, click the link below, enter your name and email address, and watch that video now.
So the very first idea is the role that alcohol actually plays in relieving boredom in the first place. And this is the first thing that you need to get your head around. This idea probably isn't going to be rocket science. The better ideas will come a bit later in the video, but we need to build a foundation of knowledge here. Now, watch this. I am going to take a drink. It's coffee, but watch. That's it. Did that relieve boredom in any way? No. The act of this does not relieve boredom. So what we need to understand is that the act of drinking does nothing to relieve boredom. So what is going on here? Why do people get bored after they stop drinking? Well, this is the first thing that we need to separate. This idea of drinking relieving boredom is a belief, and the belief is created by being addicted to alcohol. Now, for some people, that's gonna feel like a kick in the nuts or a punch in the stomach. It might take the wind out of you. You might think, I'm not addicted. I'm not addicted to a drug. And I hate to say it, but we are. We all are, or we all were if you've stopped drinking. But you've got to understand the act of drinking does not relieve boredom. It's a pretty boring thing to do. Now, listen, we will get into the root cause of boredom after stopping drinking in a moment, but you need to get this clear. Drinking alcohol is boring. It is boring. You are doing this. It's boring. The only thing that makes it not boring is the fact that you're drinking a drug, and we'll get to that later on. So the second foundation of what I'm about to teach you, and the 3 next things will be a lot more applicable, but we need to be okay with being bored. I will show you how to eradicate boredom in a second, but boredom will be a part of life as a non-drinker because it's a part of life. We don't need to escape the feeling of being bored. And if you do get bored, guess what? Maybe it's a sign that there is a bigger problem in your life that needs fixing. I very rarely get bored, but I do get bored. But then I try and find more productive, more enjoyable things to fill my time with, like exercise, like making these videos, like researching, like reading. I'm not resorting to a drug. Now, the third idea. Now, this is where we're going to go to another level. See, the root cause of stopping drinking alcohol and being bored is all based on fear. And what I mean is if you stop drinking alcohol and you're really suffering with boredom, what you're actually doing is you've got this fear that you're missing out on something. Now, again, if you've read Stop Drinking books, that might not be a shock to you, but during the 10 years that I struggled to stop drinking alcohol for, what I always used to do is feel this sense of missing out. So there was a period where I'd stopped drinking for 7, 8, 9 months. I can't remember the dates, but during those 7 to 9 months, everything in my life got better. I was, at the time, using willpower. I was just fighting the urge to not drink alcohol, and my life went so well. I didn't really get bored. I was running a personal training business. I was in a relationship. I had a Mercedes. I was finishing my last year of university. I just got control of my life again. But I went to a party. It was a New Year's Eve party. And whilst I was at this party, it was very fancy. It was in a private members club. I'm from a small town. I'd never been to a members club in the centre of London before. I thought, wow, this is something. Everybody's got champagne. I met this guy who runs an investment fund, this successful person, whatever. And I had a friend at this club that invited me along for New Year's. And I had a big problem. What I started doing is seeing all of these glamorous people, sophisticated people, and it was New Year, so everybody was having a great time. Everybody was in a good mood. And then I had this great idea that, oh, it's the alcohol. I had this feeling of missing out. Now, I didn't necessarily get bored, but what I started doing was associating this idea of drinking alcohol enhancing my night. And when we get bored when we're not drinking alcohol, that's the exact same thing that's happening. We feel like we're missing out on something. And by the way, this can relate to boredom. This is basically what leads to most relapses, is this feeling of, oh, screw it, I'll just have a drink. But this idea that drinking alcohol will fix any kind of problem, boredom, stress, being stuck in your head socially, whatever it is, this idea that alcohol will fix these things is a faulty belief. You might get a moment of relief, right? I'm not going to say that night, the first drink that I had, I didn't go a little bit crazy and a bit hyper and I was bouncing off the walls and talking to people and having a bit of a better time. That happened for 15 or 20 minutes. And then I went on to destroy my entire life. All the things I'd built without drinking, gone. Sure, it took 6 months and it wasn't just like all of a sudden my life had just crumbled apart. See, I traded 15 minutes of, I don't know, woo, look at me having a few drinks, woo, for 6 months of destruction. 6 months of getting to a place where I had nothing left. Was it worth it? Of course not. But I saw alcohol as a solution. But this idea that you're missing out on anything at all when you stop drinking alcohol is wrong. You ain't missing out on anything. There's nothing to gain from drinking alcohol, which leads me to the fourth idea. When you stop drinking, you will get more free time. That is a fact. Think of all the time that you waste when you drink. Firstly, we've got to think about, okay, planning to drink. Then we've got to think about the time that we spend drinking. Then we've got to think about the time that we spend recovering from drinking. And then the worst part of all when you drink is how your mind is constantly thinking about it. When you drink alcohol, it dominates your life. So of course, when you stop drinking alcohol, you get so much more free time. And this is where it gets risky. If you see alcohol, and this is why I always say that you need to build a paradigm where you stop seeing alcohol as the solution. You start seeing it as a damn problem. Because then that FOMO, that fear of missing out, evaporates. I don't look at people that are drinking. If I went to that party now as the version of me that I am today, I wouldn't look at those people and think that they're doing anything that's enhancing their life. I'd feel sorry for them. So whilst you will get more free time if you don't drink alcohol, your mind will do one of two things. It's either going to think, oh, what am I going to do with all this free time? So bored, might as well have a drink. Or it's going to do the opposite. Maybe you do get bored. You accept it. Because you've got a vision, which is actually the fifth idea. Let's get into that now. I'm jumping the gun. But the fifth thing, and the thing that you need to do if you truly want to fix boredom, is you need something to go towards. What we need to do is create a vision for our life that's so exciting and so compelling that we are so busy working on this vision and moving in the direction of our dreams that we don't get time to get bored. See, this idea of just stopping drinking alcohol and sitting around and watching Netflix and changing nothing about your life, that ain't for me. That's not the path for me. That would never work. Because I'd do what I've just told you. I would feel this sense of missing out because I've changed nothing about my life. I've got nothing that excites me. So we need something to go towards. And I don't know what that is for you. I don't know what's going to get you out of bed in the morning. That's for you to figure out. But what may happen, and here's a bit of a warning, when you first stop drinking alcohol, you may go through a period of boredom. It might last a couple of months. You might have a period where things just aren't that good. It's just kind of meh, whatever. But as long as you don't drink, you'll break through. You'll find something. I don't know what it is. Maybe you start a side hustle, some extra business thing. Maybe you start getting clarity on how you want to behave as a parent. Maybe you start volunteering. I don't know what that vision is going to be for you. Only you can figure that out. But I know one thing for sure. When you have something to go towards and when you're organizing your time around this bigger vision for your life, the boredom goes. And if you do get bored, it's okay. Accept it. Because drinking alcohol will not relieve boredom. You'll just go back to the very same cycle that got you here in the first place. So keep it going. And if you click the video on the screen now, I'm going to show you some of the secrets to actually getting in control of your drinking. Definitely check this one out.